SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
You're listening to Sports Talk Mississippi On Demand, presented by Pearl River Resort. Escape to Choctaw, Mississippi and enjoy world-class gaming, the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, and Geyser Falls Water Park. Escape to Pearl River Resort.
Sports Talk Mississippi is on the air. Sports Talk Mississippi is powered by C-Spire. Power your home or business with C-Spire Fiber. To learn more, visit supertalk.fm/C-Spire. C-Spire Fiber powers SuperTalk Mississippi. To the junction, in the Grove, and to the top. This is Sports Talk Mississippi. On your radio and in the game. Right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome in on a Tuesday. Michael Borkey, Brian Hadad with you, Sports Talk Mississippi. Yes, we're still going to talk baseball today. Kendall Rogers is going to join us here in the 3 o'clock hour to preview the weekend with you guys. We have had 24 hours to sit on these regionals and what they mean and those kind of things. And so we'll go back and look at them and kind of talk about, hey, what do we think is going to happen here? I've got a take that I workshopped a little bit today and talked about it a little bit on the podcast last night. And I think I
love when people workshop takes. I have an opinion, so let me put a lot of research into it. Just say it.
Well, what I did is I said it to other people privately, and they were like, actually, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So okay. That's what I mean by
Friends
that.
Friends of yours?
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll disagree with it.
I just said, hey, I think this. What do you think? And none of them were like, you're dumb. That's crazy. So, and it's really not that off the wall.
Your friends are much nicer than my friends. My friends, I send them a take, and they're like, you're an idiot. Don't say that out loud.
So we'll talk about that. SEC spring meetings going on. A lot of coaches talking. All of them, in fact, are going to talk. Mike Elko is my new favorite coach in the SEC. The first coach that's like, we need to
deserves respect.
We need to stop changing things. Yeah. We need to listen to the fans, and we need to stop complaining because we have $100 million contracts. It's like, and also, the 80s don't listen to us. I don't know why they don't, but they don't. Just the whole thing was pretty spectacular, but we got fascinating quotes from John Sumrall in particular. But all kinds of stuff. Pete Golding and Jeff Lebby have not spoken yet, but they have to. They will. They do not publicize the schedule. So if that happens while we're on the show here, great. If not, we'll bring that to you tomorrow. So a lot to get to today. So glad that you guys are with us.
You're here in the Pearl River Resort studios with us. Pearl River Resort, pearlriverresort.com. You can book your stay, book your tickets, book your meals, book a round of golf, whatever you want to do. It's a great time at Pearl River Resort. The summer is always awesome. Great live shows, entertainment. You can take the family to Geyser Falls. You can play a round of golf at Dancing Rabbit. Do it all at Pearl River Resort. C-Spire text line is open to you at 601-879-4395. With C-Spire, it's easier than ever to get all the devices you want in one move with the Ultimate Connect bundle. Right now, new and current customers can get a free phone, free watch, free tablet, free 100 gigs. Well, it's not a free 100 gigs a day. It's $90, but you get all of that for $90. You can't.
It feels like free.
It does. It really does. That includes the new iPhone 17 or the Samsung Galaxy S26 for free, plus the free smartwatch and tablet to go with it. Don't wait. There's more to see. Visit cspire.com or stop by your local C-Spire store today. C-Spire, inspired by you.
So baseball this weekend. Here's the take that I workshopped. And again, it's not that out there, but I think that it's this simple in Lincoln, Nebraska this weekend. If Ole Miss wins on Friday night, they will win the regional. And if they do not, they will not.
This was your take? This was your huge take that you spent
But think about it. If they win one game, I think that if they beat Arizona State on Friday night, I think they are winning the regional. And this team's, I don't know if they're necessarily equipped to come out of a loser's bracket anyway, but if they're able to get by Carlin with his strikeout rate and his electric stuff from the left side, Nebraska's all four of their regular starting pitchers are righties. They don't have a particularly explosive offense. And, I mean, Ole Miss statistically is the best pitching team in this regional, and they've also played the most difficult schedule on top of that. Friday will determine the winner of the regional, in my opinion. It will either be Ole Miss or it will be Nebraska. And we'll know that by close of business on Friday, to me. If they get by Carlin, they're winning the regional. If they don't, it's curtains.
Yeah, I think Ole Miss is going to win this regional. So I'm completely on board with your take. I don't think it needs all the pomp and circumstance that you gave
it. See, they're not the favorite, and I don't know.
They should be. They should be the favorite. I think Ole Miss is the best team in this regional. Now, hold on. Let me. I'll workshop a take with you here.
Please do.
There's two versions of Ole Miss. The good version of Ole Miss is the best team in this regional.
No doubt.
The team that was like middle of the SEC, right after the Mississippi State series, up until about the Arkansas series, right? That's a team that can beat anybody. The other team, the team that I saw in Oxford, would go 2-Q. They'll be gone quick. So which one shows up determines what happens for the Ole Miss Rebels.
Yeah, tell me how many errors they have, and I'll tell you if they win the regional or not. There's another one for you.
Yeah.
Because they have, in the Missouri game and the Alabama series, that there was some that sloppiness had reared its ugly head once again, and that'll get them beat too. But yeah, I think they're winning if they win on Friday, and they will go 2-Q. No, because they'll play South Dakota State, and they're horrendous. But they will not win this regional if they do not win the game on Friday, and they will if they do.
Fair enough.
So, when you look at the Starkville Regional, is there anything that has come up in your mind since yesterday, knowing more about Cincinnati, et cetera, Louisiana? Is there anything that's changed or new that's popped into your head since yesterday?
We're going to get a great pitching matchup in Game 2. The two of the best pitchers in the regional go at it when Cincinnati and Louisiana go on Friday night. Not really. You know, I talked earlier today to Mark Etheridge of D1 Baseball. That interview will be on the Thunder and Lightning podcast and on Thunder and Lightning Live tomorrow night. And, you know, he talked about the Lipscomb series, and he got me wondering if State might even go deeper than Duke Stone in this one, or just give Stone a couple of innings and see where they are offensively. He expects State to manhandle Lipscomb, which, I mean, if you go back and look at the series, the first two games were competitive, and then the third game is where it got completely out of hand. So we'll see what State does offensively in this one. But, you know, nothing has popped up as I look at it that makes me think, that's a concern. You know, Cincinnati, they have the two big power hitters, but by and large, you know, their lineup doesn't have that much pop. They're going to use their best guy, their best pitcher on Friday, so he won't see Mississippi State. Louisiana is not a really good hitting team, and if they come out of the winner's bracket and they got to face Tomas Valinkas, I feel really good about State's chances to win that game. And then if they go back and let's say they're able to get to State again in a regional final, and State's throwing McPherson again, I'd feel really good about their chances there. It's fascinating to see State's odds to win the national title. Everybody knowing that McPherson is now fully back and ready to roll. I think somebody said on FanDuel, State's the fifth best odds to win it all. State with McPherson back is something we haven't seen since the Vanderbilt weekend. And that was
they're fifth best to win it all?
Mm-hmm.
As the 14 seed? That's pretty good.
Well, it's like I said, because the bettors are taking into account that McPherson is back. You know, when McPherson left, what was State? They were ranked what? Fourth? You know, fifth, something like that in the country. And so, you know, now that he's back and he's, you know, according to O'Connor, we talked to him yesterday, good to go. I get where they're coming from on that at least. You know, do I think State is the fifth best team available? Probably not. But do I see the path for them if McPherson and Valinkas are going to give them the kind of pitching that you expect, especially in a super regional? Georgia hasn't faced McPherson yet. You know, he didn't pitch against them in Stark.
Yeah.
So a little bit of it's just a big X factor there. Also, real quick, somebody on the C Spire text line has a good point. Still a little early to be talking about errors with Ole Miss.
Still early.
Just let's wait a little bit longer.
It only cost them the one game they played in Hoover, but you know, Still early.
Something like that, yeah.
Somebody says Louisiana Ace has been up to 100 miles per hour this year, so Cincinnati has their hands full, but State is going to have to defend the bunt and the run game. Cincinnati has stolen 115 bases.
Yeah, that's in the interview as well with Mark Etheridge. He talks about the style of baseball that Cincinnati plays. It's kind of similar. I don't think they do as much of the head games and the taunting that Kentucky does, but they are a team that will lay down the bunt and be aggressive on the base paths. And that has been a problem for State this year, you know.
Wait, so they don't chant Taylor Swift songs in the dugout?
I don't know for sure. I haven't confirmed or denied that. But what I do know is State has struggled this year with the run game. Maluski being back for Mississippi State will be a big deal. They need somebody back there who can at least give them some chance to throw runners out behind the plate. And I thought, it's crazy. When he got hurt at Texas A&M, he was having a great weekend at the plate. I think he might have been a difference. Him being in the lineup might have gotten State another win. So having him back will be a big deal for the Bulldogs.
Somebody says, I know they just announced regionals and probably have not announced where supers will be. They have. So simply put, the better seed or the higher seed, however you want to look at that, will host the super regional. So if State and Georgia wins, State will go to Georgia. If Georgia loses and State wins, doesn't matter who beats Georgia, that super regional will be in Starkville. So there you go. Sports Talk Mississippi. We'll be right back. We're just getting started. Hope we'll have some fun today. Hope you guys will enjoy it, and glad that you guys are with us. We'll be back.
Every time I look around, it's in my face.
From the Venable.
Check this out. Sports Talk Mississippi. Super Talk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi back here with you on a Tuesday? It's only Tuesday.
It's only Tuesday.
It feels like it's not just Tuesday. I'll just be honest with you. The Hattiesburg Regional. That's a tough one. I've been thinking about that the past, since they announced it, and man, Southern Miss got a tough draw. We talked about it yesterday. The second highest overall RPI of any regional. Just by percentage points away from being the highest.
Yeah, like 0.5 or 0.25 or something away from being the most difficult.
Jacksonville State is a 3 seed is really tough. I mean, when you look at the RPI of the teams that are in this tournament, Cincinnati is sitting at 22, and they're at State's 2 seed. Jacksonville State is sitting at 25. They're USM's 3 seed.
Of all the things that have been talked about with seeding and stuff, and Arkansas fans flaming hot mad that they didn't get a host but State did, which is still just so dumb. You're making the wrong argument. But whatever. I don't know how it has not gotten through their heads. It was not you versus Mississippi State for the final host spot. Why don't you understand that? Mississippi State has no bad losses. You do. That's the difference between the two of you.
Because they can't make the argument against anybody else. So
ridiculous. So between that and then Mercer not getting in, which the more that gets unpacked, the more they should have. Their RPI, by the way, excellent.
This is what I wanted to say. So Jacksonville State's RPI is actually ahead of Virginia's, who's the 2 seed.
See, yeah, and
then 2 spots down from them is Mercer, who didn't get in.
Didn't get in at all, which they should have. But so there's been a lot of discussions around seeding and stuff like that around those teams. Jacksonville State getting a 3 is kind of unacceptable when you look at the metrics and all that stuff and the way they seed this thing. Mm-hmm. That shouldn't have happened.
No. But it did.
Is that a brand-only thing? I mean, how does that happen? They're too good for that.
There is something to that of the idea that, well, we're not going to seed Jacksonville State as a 2 in somebody else, I guess. But I mean, I'd love to know what the metric, if we're doing it like this. They seeded it 1 through 32, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where is Jacksonville State? Are they 33? Are they the highest 3 seed? mean, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But USM has got their work cut out for them. They have got two really tough teams. Whoever they play in their second game, I'm gonna assume they beat Little Rock and get to move on to the winners bracket. It's good. It ain't gonna be no picnic for Southern Miss. I mean, and that's true for all three teams here in the state. But for Southern Miss playing at home, they didn't really get a lot of.
They didn't get any favors.
Favors, yeah, agreed.
But at least that they have been battle tested this season in so many different ways, right? The Sun Belt, third most bids in the country, which is outstanding. They have played 3 SEC teams, a very difficult non-conference schedule. It'd be different if they kind of got their way into a host with the strength of schedule in the 90s or something like that. They've been through it. Mm-hmm. And so they shouldn't, and they won't be, of course, but there's no intimidation factor from them here.
Right.
They're the best team in this regional.
Oh, no doubt.
Easily.
No doubt. No question, yeah.
Speaking of, would you like to know who's going to be calling those games? Kevin Fitzgerald and Bobby Miranda will be on the call for the Hattiesburg Regional. So, I don't know.
Huge fan of Bobby Miranda's work.
I don't know. Los Angeles will get Roxy Bernstein and Wes Clemens. Atlanta, Georgia Tech will get Mike Farron and Gabby Sanchez. Dave Neal going to Athens with Gordon Beckham. At Auburn, Mark Neely and Greg Olson. No, not that one, although that would be kind of funny. Greg Olson spending his offseason calling baseball games on ESPN.
Is it the Greg Olson who played college baseball at Auburn? Gregg?
2 Gregs, just like Greg Berhalter. Yeah, the double G.
It's got to be him then, yeah. Let me find the picture, because I know what the guy looks like. Go ahead, though.
Yeah, played at Auburn, so he is calling the Auburn Regional.
Yeah, he played a long time in the majors.
Chapel Hill is getting, with all due respect to Richard and Oxford, him aside, because there's biases in my opinion on this. So him aside, the best pair's going to Chapel Hill, I think, Mike Monaco and Ben McDonald. That is the best commentary pair in this group. Of course, besides Richard and Oxford. Had to remove him for the sake of bias. Had to recuse myself from him. Roy Philpott and Keith Moreland in Austin, Tuscaloosa, Derek Jones and Jared Mitchell, Eric Freddy and Lance Cormier in Gainesville, Darren Vaught and Devin Travis in Tallahassee, Clay Matvick and Dave Ardsma in Eugene. There you go. Richard Cross and Todd Walker in College Station. So if you guys want to hear the tones of Richard Cross not talking about politics, there you go. You can turn on the College Station Regional and hear him. In Lincoln, I'm already prepared for the small percentage of people that announce or complain. Ole Miss is getting the Carl Ravitch treatment this weekend. He's really technically sound. Like, he is a good broadcaster.
Yeah.
My qualms with Carl Ravitch is when they let him call the National Championship Series, and he clearly has not consumed college baseball.
So it's good that he's in the regionals then. So at least he has some workwear. So,
yeah, so he's actually going to be around, and he's got Kyle Peterson next to him. But you're going to get it. You're going to get the announcer complaints. I just know that's coming. Starkville, Jack Kaiser and Jake DeLongchamps.
I found out today it's DeLongchamp.
DeLongchamps is so much better than DeLongchamp.
It's French. It's
DeLongchamp. DeLongchamps is awesome.
I wish instead of Jake, it was Jacques DeLongchamp.
Okay,
Qu'est-ce que c'est, le Jacques DeLongchamp?
That's what he's going to be for the rest of the regionals.
Jacques
DeLongchamp.
All right, I'm down.
That reminds me of so the Pelicans announced their new coach today. He had a press conference. His lead assistant is God Shamgod.
Yeah,
I didn't know that guy was
played at UConn.
I didn't know he was a real guy.
You don't know the about God Shamgod?
He's
he played
old.
Providence. He played Providence, I think.
I did not know
God Shamgod.
Shamgod.
That is a streets will never forget college basketball player.
I mean, when did he play college basketball?
Played at Providence.
But when?
What year? Gosh, hold on. I'm looking up the Wikipedia now. He was the second round pick in 1997, so he played at Providence.
So I was 5.
95. That's what I'm saying. The streets will never forget God Shamgod.
I have forgotten God Shamgod, but yeah,
you You didn't forget God Shamgod. You didn't know he existed.
But he's now my favorite coach because I can just say God Shamgod.
Yeah.
Just like I wanted.
He was one of the first guys that like really had the sick crossover dribble.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he
put the Shamgod on him.
Is that what they called it?
Yes.
Is that where ShamWow came from?
Yes. No, ShamWow is a towel.
Yeah, but is that the name?
I don't think so. No.
ShamWow, ShamGod.
Yeah. Played in the in the McDonald's All-American game with Ron Artest. I'm sorry, he was teammates in high school with Ron Artest. My bad. And played AAU ball with Kobe.
Ron Artest Meta World Peace, right? Isn't that what he
Yes.
changed his name?
Yes.
Is God Shamgod his actual name, or is that a changed name as well?
I believe it is let me see here. So he was formerly known as Shamgod Wells, but he changed his name to God Shamgod.
So his name, his given name though, was still Shamgod.
His birth name was God Shamgod. We've gotten so far off the rails.
I don't care.
He was teased. He went by Shamgod Wells throughout high school using his mom's maiden name. But when he was enrolled at Providence, they told him you have to enroll under your legal name. So he said, "Okay, my name is God Shamgod."
And he like 6'10". Who was teasing that guy?
Yeah, he was a guard. He's a point guard. He's 6 foot.
I thought he was a tall guy. He's not a tall guy?
He's a guard.
Mosley's a tall guy. Because he met Kellen Moore today, and it's preposterous how big NBA players are. He makes Kellen Moore look like a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
And Kellen Moore played quarterback in the NFL.
He's only 6 foot, though.
But still, just the size difference. But
should we try to get God Shamgod here on the on the show?
I will reach out and see if God Shamgod
if nothing
will join
else,
us.
just be like, just see if he wants to join us.
If I found out my son was teasing a kid in school that had the name God Shamgod, he's getting a slap on the back of the head.
Like, what's
That
wrong with
rules.
you, buddy?
Yeah.
There's a million Jameses out there. How many God Shamgods do you know?
Oh, man.
All right. Well, I
See?
don't think that's where we wanted to go with that segment, but that's where we went.
I can't stop saying God Shamgod. I hear it in my head just over and over.
Instead of saying God Shamgod, say Jacques Delanchon.
Delanchon. He will be in Starkville this weekend, calling the regional.
I don't know where he's going to get his croissant. We don't have a croissant place here in town, but we'll figure it out.
We'll keep talking baseball with Kendall Rogers. He'll join us when we come back. We'll get his thoughts on Hattiesburg, Starkville, and Lincoln as well when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
From the Seabrook Doctor, you're hearing Sports Talk Mississippi.
What? This is so
Awesome on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. We go to the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau. Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball, joining us right now. And the most important question is, do you know who God Shamgod is? No, I'm kidding.
I do, actually.
We got off the rails this segment before this, Kendall. We were talking about God Shamgod for some reason.
Yeah, he was a St. John's player, wasn't he?
Providence.
Okay.
Told you the streets will never forget, boy.
Apparently not.
I tried hard.
And then we started talking about the Hattiesburg Regional. Southern Miss obviously coming in pretty hot, winning the Sun Belt Championship. They were awesome down the stretch of the season, but a pretty difficult draw with Virginia and then a Jacksonville State team that, Kendall, probably shouldn't be a 3 seed.
Yeah, one thing that's kind of interesting, and it's kind of a wholesale point of view here, but I do like the fact that the three teams like Southern Miss, Florida, and Florida State that had 80s on the committee, all three of them I felt like got pretty competitive regionals. And certainly Hattiesburg's a good one. I mean, Virginia, they've underachieved a little bit this year, but they're healthier. Eric Becker's back. I mean, obviously AJ Gracia, one of the top hitters in college baseball. Jacksonville State, Steve Beasley, the former Missouri coach, has really done a nice job there. Eli Pillsbury, their Friday guy, which Southern Miss won't see him. But, he's a kind of must-see TV. And, of course, Little Rock, we all remember Chris Curry's team last year, getting to the regional final in Baton Rouge and actually beating the eventual national champions once. That's a tough fourth seed. So, yeah, the Hattiesburg Regional is interesting. But I will say this. It's hard for me to deny kind of the Golden Eagles in this regional. I just think when you look at their makeup, they had a long week at the Sun Belt tournament, and guys like Matthew Russo stepped up. They got some big time pitching performances, and so I still like their chances at home. It's going to be rowdy, and those guys are about as seasoned as season gets.
Starkville Regional, Kendall, and Mississippi State, getting Louisiana, getting Cincinnati, those are two pretty good teams. How much of a difference, not only just for this regional, but for the entire postseason, does the return of a full-strength Ryan McPherson make for the Bulldogs?
I think it's huge. I watched his outing against A&M, and I thought he looked sharp. I mean, I thought the changeup and the slider were both really good. Obviously, the velocity is going to continue to work itself back, but I think it's huge. And frankly, I think I put this in one of my stories yesterday, but I think this team has a chance to win the national championship if he's healthy. If he's healthy and throwing well, I believe in the lineup. I think there's enough pitching there to make a run. And I think getting him back is huge. And of course, we'll kind of see the rest of that regional. Cincinnati's kind of a little under the radar, but you look at Jack Natili behind the plate, Quentin Coates, one of the better power hitters in college baseball. Keep it on Jordan Bishop's club, and of course Louisiana. How about these guys? They played 7 games at the Sun Belt tournament last week. I mean, that's unreal to play 7 games in a single week. We'll see if they're, kind of have a little bit of a hangover from that. But I'll tell you what, they're playing really well right now, and Ty Roman's thrown well for the Cajuns.
I want to dive a little deeper into Cincinnati because I had Mark Etheridge from D1 on the podcast today, and he was talking about the style of baseball that they play. From what he was telling me, it's kind of similar to Kentucky, the way that they're just so super hyper-aggressive on the base paths. Do you think that can bother Mississippi State?
It can. I think Mississippi State, Brian O'Connor and those guys do such a great job. They'll be prepared for it, but there's no doubt they're going to get a workout behind the plate. They're one of those teams that they remind me of Kentucky. They also kind of remind me of, it was a few years ago, Wofford would just run the bases like crazy. But they're an interesting team in the sense they have a blend of the power in the middle, the guys that can run. They're going to they're going to hit and run in situations where you may not hit and run. They're going to try to steal in situations where ordinarily a team in the SEC is not going to try to steal. And, Jordan Bishop, as good of a coach he is, he's kind of a quirky guy. And I kind of feel like his teams are a little quirky. So it is a different look, but it's one of those things that, if you're BOC and those guys, you're seeing this on film. So it's not going to, it's not like you're going to show up and be like, wow, we didn't expect this to happen. So I think the state will be fine in that regard, but it's certainly different.
To Lincoln, where Ole Miss will face off with Arizona State on Friday night. Is Cole Carlin as electric as some people say that he is?
Yeah, he's definitely very good. The big thing with him is he's coming back from injury. He looked good last week. How does he look, at the week after he's back? And so, it's a guy that's at the 97, 98 with his fastball, a converted reliever who is really good. But, I look at this regional as a whole, and I think it's very winnable for Ole Miss. I really do. Arizona State to me is a little bit up and down. Landon Harrison obviously is must-see TV from an offensive perspective, but on the mound, outside of Carlone, which unfortunately for Ole Miss, they'll see Carlone, but really outside of Carlone, it's a mixed bag. I think if there might be Bianco in that offense, you're saying, hey, take pitches, get this guy out of here because that's really where you can get ASU. But I think the Rebs, I still feel really good about them. I just talked about State being a potential national championship team, and I do think Ole Miss has a national championship caliber rotation and pieces in the bullpen. The offense, there are some times the offense is a little up and down for me. But I'll tell you what, Taylor Rabe has thrown exceptionally well as of late, and I'm just one of those people. I'm not betting against Hunter Elliott in the postseason. Of course, Kay Townsend is really good too. So we'll see if the host Nebraska has something to say about it. But I actually kind of like Ole Miss, Arizona State to win this regional.
On that note, so there's been debate here of what Mike Bianco should do in Game 1. Do you go Rabe, who has possibly the most electric stuff on that staff, or do you go with the guy that's been there and done that before in Hunter Elliott, although he has had his struggles this season? If you were Mike Bianco, what would you do?
I kind of like this, and I'm going to kind of go all over the place here. I would go Townsend, Rabe, Elliott, because here's my thing. If you win the first 2 games, man, there's probably nobody from a mental standpoint, mental perspective, that I feel better about in a championship game of a regional than Hunter Elliott. Just from a sheer locked in, isn't going to be rattled, guy that's been there. Like, that's who I would want in that role. So I'm actually going to kind of mix it up and go Townsend, Rabe, Elliott.
You mentioned Ole Miss a second ago. You think their chances are good there in the Lincoln Regional. Give me the one seed that you think isn't going to make it to the next weekend. Who's the one seed that you have the least amount of faith in?
Ooh, that's a great question. I actually feel like the committee did a really good job with the 4s and the 1s. I'll say the team that I kind of have my eye on a little bit is VCU out of the Chapel Hill Regional. They have one of the youngest coaches in college baseball. I think the guy's like 31. They're a hard-nosed club. They played really well down the stretch. And VCU is one of those teams, they are accustomed to playing, ACC style of baseball in the midweek. And so I would keep an eye on VCU. And again, I like that regional as a whole. I think Tennessee with Tegan Coons, Coons will throw against East Carolina, but he's pitched really well. East Carolina's red hot right now. So I think North Carolina is pretty vulnerable there, and I would keep an eye on VCU.
As far as like a national title pick, if I said I'll give you UCLA, Georgia Tech, Georgia, or the field, which way would you lean?
I would go the field. You know who I have picked as my national champion?
I don't.
Is Auburn.
Oh.
I took Auburn. I'll tell you what, I like this team's vibe a lot. I saw them up close in College Station a few weeks ago. They have a lot of fun playing baseball. But they know when to lock in. They've got what I consider an all-American caliber catcher in Chase Fralick. And I think any of us who see their weekend rotation, Andres Alvarez has been awesome. Jake Marciano, Alex Petrovic, and Jackson Sanders out of the bullpen. If you can get to Omaha with that lineup and you can get to Omaha with that rotation, guess what? You have a day off in between games. So you literally can just go throw Jackson Sanders out there every single game leading up to the finals. I like the way Auburn's playing right now a lot.
And by that same token, I wouldn't say Auburn is really a dark horse. I mean, they're a highly seeded team. They've been a good team all year. Who's a dark horse team that you like?
Yeah, I would keep an eye on Oklahoma State and Oregon. Oregon's not too much of a dark horse, right? They're a 1 seed. But, I don't think people are picking them to win it all or make a run at Omaha, but they're very physical. They have a really good Friday guy in Will Sanford. And then Oklahoma State, this is a team that, frankly, a month ago, we're wondering if Josh Holliday keeps his job. They go on this massive run at the end of the Big 12 season, and they are very offensive. Colin Ritchie's an All-American. He's one of the power leaders in college baseball. They got Colin Bruggeman over at first base, who feels like he's been there for 7 years. He's kind of back in the saddle for them, no pun intended. And then on the mound, Ethan Lund can be as good as anybody in the country. So I think Alabama, by the way, got a pretty tough 2 in Oklahoma State. I would keep an eye on the Cowboys this weekend and next weekend.
About 60 seconds left, Kendall. One of our listeners on the text line wants us to ask about the Lawrence Regional. Is Arkansas going to be playing with a chip on their shoulder?
They should. Dave Van Horn was not very happy they didn't host, and we can, we're not going to rehash that. You could have kind of gone either way there. But with Arkansas, Missouri State, Joey Hawkins has done a really nice job at most State. They're certainly well familiar with Arkansas. And then Kansas. It's hard to go against Kansas at home, but I'm going to go with Arkansas. I think BVH, had that team playing with a chip on their shoulder. I thought that they looked better offensively in the SEC tournament. Obviously, we know they can pitch. I like Arkansas to win that regional and play Georgia Tech. I do not like their chances against Georgia Tech in Atlanta, but you never know. You
never know. It's the best time of the year for college baseball. Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. Thanks, man. We'll talk to you again soon.
You got it, fellas. Y'all be good. Thank you.
Kendall joins us on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. Didn't want to rehash that hosting discussion. I can't blame him for that one. That was some messiness.
Hey, what do you say we knock out the team today when we come back?
Yeah, we can do that. We'll go ahead and get it out of the way early. Yeah, not college football. The 100 teams in 100 days. We'll do that when we come back. I can't wait to talk about the best place to eat in this town. This is a place you and I would have a good time.
I'm looking forward to it. We'll be back. Team number 95 on the countdown when we return.
Come on. Are we going to do this?
Back to Sports Talk Mississippi.
Keep rolling. 3, 2, 1.
SuperTalk Mississippi.
go to the countdown of 100 teams in 100 days. Team number 95 today.
This day is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. This day is bananas.
100 teams in 100 days.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go! It's the final countdown.
If you're a college football sicko, you love Maction, and we go to the MAC for team number 95. To Kalamazoo, Michigan, Western Michigan, the Broncos rode the boat. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I wonder how many puns people make about this one. Hey, Dad, they play at Waldo Stadium. Stadium in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
When they say the jokes write themselves, they're talking about that. That's in the dictionary.
Where's Waldo?
Exactly.
30,000 people can fit in Waldo Stadium. And a good program. And they're in the right direction, trending in the right direction with Lance Taylor. Lance Taylor, the son of a member of the Mobile Sports Hall of Fame who played for Bear Bryant, his dad, James Taylor.
He's seen fire, he's seen rain.
Not him, but Lance Taylor actually played college football at Alabama. He walked on as a wide receiver and then spent some time as a pro for the Colorado Crush, the Columbus Destroyers, the Green Bay Blizzard, and the Louisville Fire. How could people forget?
In what league is that?
I believe that's Arena League.
Okay.
But I could be wrong.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
He has bounced in and out of NFL coaching jobs since he hung it up as a player. He started as a G at Alabama, went to Appalachian State as a receivers coach, and then went to the New York Jets for a little while. Then the Panthers, then to Stanford, then back to the Panthers, then to Notre Dame, and then Louisville for 1 year in 2022 where he was the offensive coordinator. And then he gets the MAC job, and if the internet is to be believed, Lance Taylor is the only Native American head coach in college football. So another little tidbit about him. 4-8 in year one, 6-7 in year two, and then 10-4, including a MAC championship last year for Western Michigan. They started the season 0-3. They lost at Michigan State, but played pretty well that day. Kept it close, but lost. Then they lost in overtime to North Texas. Remember how good that North Texas team was last year? Lost to them in overtime. And then lost at Illinois. And then the winning started. They beat Toledo, and we know how difficult that can be. They beat Rhode Island.
Huge win.
Then they beat Rhode
Statement
Island.
win.
After that. Then won at UMass, then beat Ball State, lost at Miami, but beat Central Michigan, beat Ohio, beat Northern Illinois, beat Eastern Michigan, got revenge on Ohio in the MAC championship, and then beat the brakes off of Kennesaw State in the Myrtle Beach Bowl. I mean, we were all there. That's a really remember where you are when moment when Western Michigan beat Kennesaw State in the Myrtle Beach Bowl. But they finished the season at 10-4 with 2 losses to Big Ten teams a season ago. This year, doesn't get any easier to start. They opened the season at Michigan before hosting Monmouth and going to Rice, hosting Boise State. It's a difficult non-conference schedule for your boys in Kalamazoo. Then they go to Buffalo, host Kent State, go to Central Michigan and Toledo before hosting Bowling Green. Have an off week, go to Joe Moorhead's Akron before finishing the season at home against Eastern Michigan and Miami. They have a super electric quarterback, Brock Lowry. Threw for 1,800 yards and 9 touchdowns last season. So you think
Brock Lowry.
So you think that's okay for the Indiana transfer. Ran for 1,000 yards and 14 touchdowns last year. So a true dual threat quarterback. So that's Western Michigan.
When you hear 4-8 to 6-7 to 10-4, it's like, what year is it? That's an old school, get better each year, progress as the program becomes yours. So, Western Michigan, a team to watch out for. Kalamazoo's best restaurant, the Bell's Eccentric Cafe. Are you familiar with Bell's Brewing?
I am actually, yes.
They have a restaurant on site. It is the highest rated restaurant in Kalamazoo. As you might imagine, there's a lot of beer-related things on the menu. Beer-battered onion rings. They've got birria tacos that are brewed in beer. They've got a couple of beer mustard things going on here. Great burger selection. You can get an extra patty on your burger for just $3. That's a great deal. You're telling me, is it unlimited? Can I get 4 patties? Can I buy my burger and get 3 extra patties? I don't know the answer. The Cherry Bomb Burger, smash patty, chipotle cherry jam, goat cheese, pickles, mustard, spicy pickled habanero on a brioche bun.
Price over under $32.
It's a $15 burger, brother.
Whoa!
And you can add bacon, thick cut bacon for only $3. That's a
Look at
great
that.
sounding burger. And of course, you can enjoy all of Bell's awesome beers while you're at the cafe. That's a good local brewery. So Bell's Eccentric Cafe, the top rated restaurant in Kalamazoo.
How about we talk a little college football when we come back? Spring meetings going on.
We're going to talk about stuff that happens around college football. Not going to be actual college football we're talking about.
No, although we can.
You.
I mean, I can't help that the coaches are talking this week. It's not my fault.
I blame you.
We'll be back in just a bit.
Come on, SuperTalk Mississippi.
Check this out.
Are you ready? Yeah. Sports Talk Mississippi.
I'd be home every night. Breakfast in bed.
Sports Talk Mississippi back with you here on a Tuesday. Is it still raining where you are? It's been raining here today. Some rain, some off, but the grass is winning this week, and we've got to fix that. So this weekend, if it dries up a little bit, get out there, mow your grass, and do it with some John Deere green from our friends over at Ag Up. Great deals available right now on all kind of John Deere mowers, including the zero turns. If you got the smaller yard, you don't need the big tractors they have out in front, that's fine. Go see my friends at Ag Up. They'll get you taken care of. But if you do need one of those big old tractors, and you need whatever attachments come with it, again, there's great deals available for you right now at Ag Up. 15 locations throughout the state, or you can just look online at agup.com. Ag Up Equipment, your down home John Deere dealer. What's up on Sports Talk Mississippi? Bunch of BS, bunch of stuff that I don't like. It's a bunch of poop. Poo-poo. I don't know. I don't. Here we go. Just go ahead.
In some college football TV news, Laura Rutledge stepping away from SEC Nation.
Yeah.
She is going to be more heavily involved in their NFL coverage. Honestly, for a while, it hasn't made sense to have her on SEC Nation considering how involved with the NFL she's been, and they finally kind of pulled the plug on that. She's good at what she does. I'll be honest with you. I just don't watch a lot of SEC Nation. This doesn't move me at all. I've seen a lot of tributes of, and again, I believe that these are all true. This, amazing coverage, great show, gonna miss her, all that stuff. I'm not, only because SEC Nation has never been a part of what I have done on Saturday mornings before game day. I don't consume it.
I can't be bothered to watch College Game Day. I'm certainly not bothered enough to watch SEC Nation. So,
who would they replace her with? I guess there's
that's a
few
good question.
options.
I don't know. I mean,
oh gosh, what's her name?
Alyssa Lang?
Yeah, that seems easy, right?
The problem is, isn't she does? Are they going to take her off the sideline? Because she's, that's what she's been doing. She's been one of the sideline reporters. So they just go ahead and make her a full time, studio host or whatever. It could be. She'd be very good at it. But I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
It was our best interview at Media Days last year, I think.
She was really good. Really good. Yeah.
We have too many on-site pregame shows. There's too many. There's 3 big ones, and then the ACC's doing one too. So there's 4 on-site pregame shows, and then Barstool.
What sucks is, Barstool is like its own entity. I'm not, they're more about the vibes than anything else. But one thing I hate about it, I don't hate it about SEC Nation. I hate it for them. Is let's just say, let me get my helmet schedule here so I can talk a little more.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say week.
Week 3 because College Game Day is going to go to Oxford.
Right. So October 17th. All right, Ole Miss is playing Missouri. Let's just say Ole Miss has run the table or let's say they've got a loss. Right, they're 4-1. Missouri at this point is sitting at 5-1. They've had a good start. Right, so you've got that going on. But that weekend is Alabama at Tennessee, and and Auburn at Georgia, Florida at Texas. So let's just say Alabama and Tennessee have run the table to this point. So you've got a team, you've got Ole Miss and Missouri. That's probably a top 15 matchup, probably maybe even top 10.
It can be, yeah.
But if Alabama, and I don't know the Big Ten schedule off the top of my head, but let's just say game day is like we're going to Alabama at Tennessee, and SEC Nation is going to Ole Miss hosting Missouri. As an Ole Miss fan, you're like, we got gypped.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost automatic. It's one thing when you don't have a great game and they come and you're like, oh, that's cool. They're going to be here, right? When you have a really good game and you thought you were in the running for game day.
And they send you Paul Feinbaum.
You're getting SEC Nation. It really is like, you got screwed on that one. It's not their fault, but it feels like you were the second choice. You know?
Yeah.
Which you were.
Especially since ESPN and Game Day have they haven't completely abandoned the Big Ten, but it is obvious that they are spending less and less time promoting games that they don't air.
Fox is going to go. If they're going to send Big Noon there. And then Barstool is just like, where can we go to create the most chaos this weekend?
I assume that they're going to.
Oh, they will 100% be there. I wonder if does Brandon go and get like a Kiffin T-shirt or something? Like, how does he incite the crowd? I can't wait to find out. And T-Bob will go probably too, and he'll be full purple and gold regalia. So
they probably shouldn't.
They shouldn't, but they will.
They probably shouldn't,
but they will,
because they invite. I mean, let's call it what it is. Barstool invites a less classy crowd to their tailgate shows. And they intentionally make them mad.
My button's up here.
That's their thing. That's what they do. Is they do the introductions of the host.
You need to make sure you're wearing a tux so that you're classy.
No, and I don't mean that from like a not classy enough for Ole Miss. I mean like the people that go to Barstool shows are not going to.
Well, I mean, you said that the majority of those people are going to be Ole Miss students. That's who were there 2 years ago.
Yeah, hey, Dad, and college students are dumb.
Oh.
They are. That's going to be the crowd that's more likely to, when a Barstool employee walks out with two middle fingers in the air, start throwing stuff at them. That's the kind of crowd that they invite. I don't know. There's going to be so much security that day. Part of me wonders if they're going to deny a show like that. Like, hey, you can do it, not on the campus, though. And I'm speaking from Keith Carter's perspective when I say we. I'm not involved in this, obviously. But if I'm Keith Carter, it's like, I already have enough problems and security stuff that I got to deal with. We can't protect you guys. You can't do it on our campus. Sorry. Like, I need the resources focused on the more important things than Dave Portnoy's show. With all due respect to Dave Portnoy, I can't staff the security that you need to put on your show on my campus. I'm sorry.
If you're at Portnoy, you go, okay. We'll bring our own.
Then fine.
We'll pay for all that. You don't have to worry about it.
Then fine. and then you get with my insurance people and you sign a bunch of waivers and everything that happens is exclusively your fault and I'm not involved at all. I mean, I've heard they've said that to Game Day too. It's like, yeah, you'll get your normal stuff, but if you expect extra, I don't have the resources for that. They've got to go elsewhere. Sorry. Because that makes you wonder why they haven't announced that yet.
They haven't announced
that they're going to Oxford in week 3. They haven't put that out there yet.
They haven't put anything out though, have they? Barstool always kind of waits till the last.
No,
minute.
I'm talking about Game Day.
Oh, I saw something about that.
Not official. It's all
Did
been.
I not?
Yeah, no.
I thought I saw somebody tweet
that like. Chase Parham was first. That was like, hey, the expectation
I saw
is,
that, but
no, there's been nothing official from Game Day itself. Crazy to think that Game Day almost went to A&M versus MSU this year.
Yeah, I mean, if State had beaten Tennessee, they would have gone. If State could have held on to that lead, they would have gone. Yeah. So On3 reported that they are going to Ole Miss LSU.
Yeah, but that's not the same thing, you know?
College game. Yeah, I'm just trying to see where they got it from. Okay, no, never mind. With Kiffin facing off against his former program in week 3, LSU will more than likely be featured. So kind of NACO's clickbaited me there. You got me, Pete.
They're masters at the clickbait. They clickbaited everybody about the SEC is going to find coaches thing. If you read the article, that's not what the article says.
No, it says they're going to.
That they could if they wanted to.
Going to talk about it.
Yeah, they'll have discussions. Anyway, that's
we can have discussions. Anybody can have a discussion.
Yeah, McAfee said they're going. ESPN told him not to. McAfee spoils a lot of stuff on his show. He says a lot of things that his employer does not want him to.
Yeah.
I mean, it must rate really well because he gets away with a lot that most people would not get away with.
You can do that when you rate really well. Why do you think I can say the things I say? Came on this show and I pretended I got hit in the leg and had somebody throw a chair at me.
Somebody says, Borkey, you're overthinking this big time. This is what big time football is like. No, this is a unique circumstance.
It's very unique.
This is not the same.
Like, this is not the same as Michigan, Ohio State each and every year, or Alabama, Auburn.
No.
I'm not saying the stakes are higher. I'm just saying the drama is.
The emotions of it.
Yeah, just different.
Good job, Hadad. Nice pun.
I try.
You're going to drop just different in conversation for the next 5 months.
I didn't really mean to do it, but it's just, it just kind of is what it is at this point.
Oh, man.
So
somebody says Ole Miss actually told Barstool no last time because they didn't want Brandon on campus. I don't know if I buy that. Did they tell them no? And then Lane said, actually, yes, you're going to let them?
I have heard that rumor that Ole Miss said no, and Lane was like, no, we're going to let this happen. Because for the reason you're saying. The most dangerous man in sports media, Brandon Walker. Where he shows up, people throw things at him. See, I came to Oxford for the not fall camp tour and for the playoff thing, and everybody was perfectly civil to me.
It's almost like
because they know they don't want to jump on this old man. I'll take you down. Yeah. Got that old man strength kicking, brother.
We'll be back in just a bit.
Sports Talk Mississippi is brought to you by Covington County Hospital in Collins, where your health matters.
Let the broadcasting of the disturbed continue.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Super Talk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi, back with you here on a Tuesday. Hey, this Thursday, here in the great city of Starkville, Mississippi's college town, the best small town in the South, we're going to have a special edition of Thunder and Lightning live at Boardtown Pizza and Pints, starting at 1 o'clock. Please come join me in the Cotton District. We're going to have some giveaways. We're going to have some special guests, and we're going to have Thunder and Lightning live at Boardtown Pizza and Pints this Thursday as we get ready for the Starkville Regional. 1 o'clock. You can listen to it live on WKBB 100.9 here in the Golden Triangle or on your SuperTalk app using the WKBB preset. I'm getting you out of this. I just grabbed the wheel. I'm pulling off the road. I got an actual football thing that just came out. Can we please talk about that?
The second you book me for a Rebel Report live, I would love that. I want to do that.
What makes you think I did any of the booking? I was just told that we were doing this.
I would love to do that one day. That sounds like fun.
You guys reach out to Borkey at supertalk.fm, let him know, and he'll be more than happy to come do a Rebel Report and hook you guys up. Yeah. CBS Sports puts it out every year. They rank the Power 4 coaches, all 68 of them. So close. We need a new school in Power 4.
That day's coming.
These are only Power 4, so Southern Miss fans, you send your complaints to CBS Sports. Dead last is Tavita Pritchard at Stanford. No experience whatsoever, so makes sense. For names of interest, Deion Sanders at 60. He was 33 last year, a drop of 27 spots.
Hold on, you skipped over one shocking one.
Oh, Bill Belichick?
Bill Belichick at 63. And it's apt, by the way.
Only down 9 spots from last year. So he's got to do something in college.
Yeah.
So there at number 58 is Jeff Lebby. He's up 10 spots from a season ago when he was dead last in college football in Power 4. Here's what they said about him. Jeff Lebby finished last in our rankings last season in a fashion that amused me greatly. He didn't receive a single last place vote, but one of our voters had Stanford's Frank Reich 59th. How'd that work out? And it pushed Lebby to the bottom. Lebby made sure there wouldn't be any such chicanery this season, improving on a 2-10 debut in 2024 with a 5-8 record in 2025. He's still only 1-15 in SEC play, which makes him hard to justify putting him any higher than 50th on your ballot. But at least he's got some room between himself and the bottom now. So he was 68th last year. Somebody ranked, I don't know who all does the rankings here. I guess I could look up. 52 was the highest, 63 was the lowest. We go down a little further. Ryan Silverfield, number 56 on this list.
I know they were bad last year. Lebby ahead of Bill O'Brien's a little silly.
Yeah, because Bill O'Brien's a little bit more of a proven coach, but he was bad last year.
They were bad
last year. Anyway, as I said, 56 was Ryan Silverfield. At 51, that's where Pete Golding is. So here's what they have to say. I could not wait to see how our voters would view Pete Golding, and the results did not disappoint. This is not an easy evaluation. On one hand, Pete Golding has not only won a playoff game, he's won 2 playoff games, including one against Georgia. There are plenty of coaches ranked well ahead of him who have never coached a playoff game, let alone 2. There are also plenty who have never beaten Georgia in the regular season, let alone postseason. At the same time, Golding didn't build that team at all, which
that's not accurate.
He didn't build the team that did all that. There's some
he doesn't deserve all of the credit for that, of course, but as the defensive coordinator and recruiting guy.
Let me finish what they said because you'll laugh. He took it over after Lane Kiffin left in a very graceful and respectful way. So how much credit do you give him? As you can see from the high and low marks, opinions vary. So obviously they're not ranked last year. Someone had him as high as 38th. Someone had him as low as 65. So my guess is whoever ranked him 65 is just one of those, hey, if you've never been a head coach before, you're on the bottom.
Yeah.
Kind of people. But as high as 38. So just to give you an idea of what kind of company that would be in, the current number 38 is Bob Chesney at UCLA, who's coming off of a lot of success at James Madison. And 39 is Tony Elliott at Virginia, who just won 10 games last year. So Golding in some pretty good company on some ballots. I understand,
I'm not going to qualm with that. He's coached 3 games.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's one of those things that you and I know, the people who are national don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know that Kiffin wasn't the most eager. We'll be generous and say he wasn't the most eager recruiter.
Which, in his defense, far be it for me to defend Lane Kiffin, but in his defense, one of his strengths, or you could argue one of Jimmy Sexton's strengths, is building a staff around him that's really quality. Mm-hmm. And he, whether it be out of laziness or whatever, gets out of their way and lets them do their thing. Why do you think they didn't miss a beat at all after they left? I mean, Charlie Weiss didn't miss a beat. Why do you think that the offense did not change or get worse? In fact, I think in the Georgia game, they called a better game offensively than they did the last time they played Georgia. But why do you think that is? Because Charlie Weiss has been calling his own offense and doing his own game planning for years at Ole Miss. Which, it depends on how you want to spin it. You can make Lane look bad or look really good for hiring good assistants and being CEO or being lazy. It just depends on how you want to frame that. But, yeah, he didn't build that is... So Sunterian Perkins would not be at Ole Miss without Pete Golding. Either would Will Eccles or Cam Franklin. There's offensive guys that wouldn't be there without him as well.
Yeah, no doubt.
So
yeah, go ahead.
No, that's just a goofy throwaway line that is not rooted.
Again, it's somebody who covers it on a macro level versus those of us who cover it at a micro level.
Yeah.
So a couple of other names of note. 45 is Alex Galesh. 42 is Mike Norvell, down 17 spots from last year. Shane Beamer comes in at number 40. I think that's a little high, but he's down 12 spots from last year. John Sumrall in at number 36. He was not ranked last year because he wasn't in the Power 4. So that's a good debut for him. Former Ole Miss head coach Dave Doran is in at number 31. I just can't resist. Clark Lee is at 29. Brent Venables at 28. Brent Key at 27. Sonny Dykes is at 26. And then they'll rank the top 25. I assume that'll come out tomorrow. My guess, and it's just a guess, Kiffin is notoriously lower, has been lower in these things the past few years than I would have put him. I got to think coming off of another double-digit win season, he's got to be somewhere, I would say somewhere between 9 and 5. I think, 1 will probably be, trying to think.
I hate this list, by the way.
Signetti is probably going to be 1, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Day 2, Smart 3, and then Lanning 4, and Kiffin 5? Could that be?
He'll be somewhere between 5 and 10.
Okay.
Closer to 5 than 10, I'd bet. I hate this list. So why is Pat Fitzgerald, for example, ranked behind Shane Beamer? Why is that? Why is he ranked behind Matt Rule even? And I know Rule was good at Baylor. He did a great job.
Northwestern did have some up and down seasons.
But it's Northwestern. He had the worst job in his conference and won games.
Yeah.
I think he's getting punished in a way still for how it ended, even though it was ruled that it wasn't his fault.
Yeah, I mean, that's
this is a really difficult list to make.
It's a very difficult list to put together. I mean, here's the thing: Clark Lee won 10 games last year at Vanderbilt. You could put him 5th, and I wouldn't be too upset by that because of what he just did. Now you could say that that was Pavia and however you want to put it, but the coach has got to get some credit. Venables is up 24 spots. He has been up and down at Oklahoma. This is a very difficult, it's very subjective. I would say things like, when you think about Kirby Smart, yeah, he's won 2 national titles at Georgia, and he's elevated that program. But Georgia is a place where if you're not an idiot, you're going to win 10 games every year, right? So I don't know. It's a very difficult job, but I feel like Lebby's ranking is fine. Golding, I could be swayed one way or the other.
Two things can be true at once. I am incredibly impressed with how he navigated all of that at the end of last season. It was incredibly impressive. I think that he's going to be good at this. I think he's built for it. But he's only coached 3 games. And it's okay if you're not going to rank him super high because of where those 3 games were. One of those 3 games was Tulane, and another one they lost. Mm-hmm. That's not a fair categorization necessarily, considering everything that was around them, but those are the only 3 games that you have sample size as him being a head coach. If CBS is going to rank him in the 50s, then that's fine. I mean, that's totally fine. The beautiful thing is he has a great roster and a chance to prove it this year, and if he does, that 50 number is going to be in the top 25.
Could easily be top 25 or higher this time next year if he gets the job done.
That's simple. So I'm not going to be pressed about a ranking like that.
You feel pressed?
I do like getting pressed, but I'm not pressed about this one.
You're a very pressed person.
It's fun to get pressed.
It really isn't, though. That's how heart attacks happen.
I'm okay. At least I think so.
You're still young.
We'll be back.
From the Seabrook Sports Talk Mississippi. Here's more Super Talk Mississippi.
We just got word from our friends at Ag Up. They have got a winner in the Drive Green Sales Event contest. So, we don't have a drum roll thing, do we?
I don't see one.
Kirby Ammons, if you're listening, someone from Ag Up's going to get in touch with you really soon. But there we go. You are the winner of a John Deere generator and pressure washer as a result of winning the Drive Green Sales Event from our friends at Ag Up. So Kirby Ammons, if you are listening out there, Don't worry, you're going to be getting that email real soon, and they're going to let you know where to pick up your prizes. Congratulations.
Hey, Kirby, you're a jerk. I wanted those.
Well,
I wanted them.
Kind of is what it is.
Because I want to write my name and my son's name and all kinds of names and stuff and draw on my driveway before I actually pressure wash it. That is pressure washing. Of all the man stuff that you can do, we cut down a dead tree at the house this weekend, all on our own. It was amazing.
Yeah.
You feel like a man. And our son, he climbed up on top of, huge tree, had a dead tree in the front yard, cut it down myself with a chainsaw. I saw the man come out of this 6-year-old boy when he climbed up on top of the stumps and just put like one leg up high and just looked at me.
Nice.
It's like, that's just man stuff right there. Like, now he knows what it feels like. Pressure washing is one of those things, too, where you just, your legs are getting wet and it's hot and you're just back and forth.
Yeah.
And you're just slowly just taking away the dark color on your sidewalk. It's an amazing feeling. I don't know what it is about it. They have those pressure washer simulators online. I will do them sometimes.
I can't disagree.
It's so awesome doing stuff like that.
It's just something that, just relaxing. There's no, it's not like playing Fortnite where you're like, I don't want to die. I've just got a pressure wash here. It's fine. So, yes, it's too bad you didn't win. Kirby Ammons, though, is the winner.
Shout out Kirby, you jerk.
Don't be like that.
No, I'm just kidding. No, that's awesome. I'm just jealous. That's why he's a jerk, because I am sad that it's not me. But good stuff there. Kirby Smart, by the way, is on board with the SEC breaking away. That is something that is going on at the SEC meetings here in Destin. How about this quote, though, from John Summerall, head coach at Florida, now was at Tulane, obviously. He was asked if Tulane would not let you coach in the playoff if you were taking the Florida job, what would you have done? Quote, I would have stayed at Tulane and not taken another job. We were playing for a championship. He added, that's not a shot at anybody. Hey, John.
I can't get low enough. Isn't it, though? the John Cena, like, hold on. Let's see if I can, like, you got, like, the thing, you're just like, you sure about that?
Yeah. That's not a shot at anybody, but I would have done something totally different than that guy.
When I'm on this show and I'm all, clearly being the best guy on the show, and that's not a shot at anybody or anything. That's just, from now on, I'm going to start throwing that into everything. I just, tell my wife, like, when I cook, the cooking's a lot better. It's got good seasoning. The meat's got a good sear on it, as opposed to when other people cook and it's just bland and boiled. Not that that's a shot at anybody.
The full quote's even better.
Give me the full quote.
I would have stayed at Tulane and not taken another job. I was not going to leave a team playing for a championship to go coach another team. That is not in my DNA. I ain't built like that. Couldn't do it. Just couldn't. I'm not. That's not a shot at anybody.
That's not a shot at anybody.
If Florida or any other school that wanted to offer me their head coaching job was going to tell me the terms they needed to be on, the answer to me was, I can't take the job. Sorry, I just can't do it. Because those kids had given me just too much, and that just wouldn't have been fair. Do you believe him?
That it's not a shot at anybody?
Oh, no, that was definitely a shot at somebody.
That's definitely a shot at somebody.
Do you believe that if Florida said you can't coach in Oxford?
Summerall strikes me as the kind of guy I've been like, you don't tell me what to do.
I believe him.
You want me to coach your team so badly, you can wait 2 weeks.
You wait.
Till I get there. All right?
Because remember when the reporting came out that he was going to go interview at Florida?
Mm-hmm.
And he publicly pulled him. Of course, he ended up taking the job, but for 3 weeks, he put it to bed. He took his name out of the running, took a picture from the team meeting room, said, I've got no time for Florida. I'm out. I'm done. Remember that? That's the kind of stuff that he would do. And I do think, too, again, just like the game day thing, I'm not reporting anything. I don't know this is fact. I don't know. I do believe, though, he very easily could have told Florida no and not have regretted it, because there would have been another SEC job that was coming open that he would have gotten. So it's not like it was either take the Florida job now or never get your chance in the SEC. He'd be coaching in the SEC this year regardless of what Florida would have done. In my opinion, anyway. Mm-hmm. Right. So he had kind of a safety net there to be able to do that, but it's not a shot at anybody.
It's not a shot. I get it, yeah.
Oh, man.
You guys are I disagree with this. You guys are misreading that he's definitely not taking a shot at Lane. He's taking a shot at UM. I disagree with that entirely. He's taking a shot at Lane. How is he taking a shot at Ole Miss?
He's 100% taking – or he's not taking a shot.
Some of you guys, look, this is me telling you this, all right? This is me. What's about to come out of my mouth is coming out of my mouth. Y'all take the Ole Miss stuff a little far sometimes, all right? It's just like not everything has to be about them. Like, he's clearly taking a shot at Lane Kiffin, who is not at Ole Miss anymore.
And especially when one of the two of those guys actually had a team that could very well compete for a championship and one didn't. Mm-hmm. Like, truly, Tulane had no shot at a championship. None. But yeah, not a shot at anybody. I like John Summerall a ton, though. I am quote-unquote afraid of him because I think he's going to win and win big. And you've got another contender in the league now.
I've said it the past few weeks when people have asked me about it. Like, I think Florida is the team that takes the biggest step forward from last season. I've got them winning. They should win 4 or 5 more games than they did. I mean, they're talented. They're going to be much better coached. I just think Summerall's a winner. I think they will be on the periphery of the playoff, this year. They'll be one of those teams like, if we already had the 24 team, we'd be in this year. And then next year, they'll be a real live contender to get back into the top of college football.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's why when we talked about the games that you're quote-unquote afraid of, and that's why I brought up Florida, because LSU's going to get Ole Miss's best shot, right? I mean, they're going to be focused, locked in, prepared, all of that. There's going to be nothing else impacting their ability to play their best that day. Mm-hmm. Florida worries me because they're going to be so well coached and so well prepared. And I know they're at Auburn the week before.
Regardless of what happens in the game, the LSU game, emotionally Ole Miss is going to be spent. Like, if they win, the high of beating Kiffin is going to be something that could affect them. But if they lose, the loss is going to affect them. I remember, it's an LSU thing. LSU beat Florida in 1997. Florida was number 1 team in the nation. They were the reigning national champions. LSU beats them in Tiger Stadium. The next week, they were playing Ole Miss in Tiger Stadium. And I remember I had a coworker who was an Ole Miss fan. I was like, y'all are going to win that game. They are going to be riding way too high, and you're going to knock them back down to earth. Well, Richard Cross will tell you about that. That's the game that he talks about from time to time, where he was listening to it in the back of a defensive driving class or something. And Ole Miss won. I could absolutely see Ole Miss beating Kiffin and beating LSU and being on this high, and Florida just comes and punches them right in the mouth, and they fall off. That game is so dangerous for Ole Miss.
I could really go like Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman first take. I want Andre Iguodala taking the final shot instead of Steph Curry in Game 7, and say that a bigger test for Pete Golding's early career is how they perform against Florida as opposed to LSU.
Like, it won't be difficult to get his team up to play LSU.
Not at all.
They'll be ready. Can you get them up to play Florida after beating LSU?
Yeah, can you get them back in the facility at 8 a.m. on Sunday?
Can you do it the other way around, though? Can you get them back up and running if they lose to LSU? So there's, I don't know if technical is the right term, but there's some nuance to that take of, getting your team fired up to beat LSU in front of 65,000 absolutely rabid fans isn't that difficult. Getting them to the next week to come back up or to get back, back down to earth, that is a better test of a head coach, in my opinion.
Somebody's asking for the scouting report on Aaron Philo, who will be Florida's starting quarterback this year. We just simply don't know much about him. He's been at Georgia Tech behind Haynes King. Apparently, a lot of people really like him and think he's got incredible upside. He was a great high school player. He's got the Georgia all-time high school passing record. He broke Trevor Lawrence's record to get that, so he was an elite high school quarterback. He hadn't played much. He's got 102 total passing yards in his college career. That's all he's got. So no idea. But apparently people down there love him. It's just he's got no experience to lean on, and it could take him a while, as it tends to do with most quarterbacks, to really figure it out. We'll see. But yeah, Georgia all-time passing leader in high school. Sports Talk Mississippi. We'll be back.
Here comes more Sports Talk Mississippi.
You ready, guys?
On Super Talk Mississippi.
On the text line, 601-879-4395. Somebody asking, should Ole Miss and State wear all white when they play LSU? Ole Miss should do a whiteout game for the theme.
State plays them on the road, so they wouldn't have any say in that.
Ole Miss already doing a stripe out. I don't like stripe outs. The fans do a good job. I don't like the way they look. Right. It's just a personal aesthetic opinion. I'll die on this hill, though. You don't do anything special for that game. It's a big game. It's a home game. But no, don't troll LSU by making them wear jerseys. Wear your powder blue, red, gray pants. Do that. Just do your thing. Don't put Ulysses Bentley on the video board. Don't put juice on the sidelines. It's a big game, but treat it like it's a game that you're supposed to have every year.
Yeah.
Because for the last few years, you've had those games every year in that stadium. Treat it like one of those. It's impossible to do that like in totality. Like I've seen people say, well, Ole Miss fans shouldn't even boo Kiffin. Well, okay, good luck with that. Sorry. That's not happening.
0% chance.
But don't, I wouldn't troll unless you beat them. Mm-hmm. If you beat them, then play his press conference on the video board talking about just different and getting run off the road even though Highway Patrol was escorting him. Yeah, that's when you do that. Win the game first, though.
We'll see. I don't know what I'm sure Ole Miss. Because think about when they first beat State under Mullen. Mullen had spent 3 years trolling Ole Miss and everything, and when they finally got him, there was a big video presentation at the end of that game. So I would expect something similar. You just have it there in the chamber.
Have it in the hopper.
And yeah, if we're good to go, make it happen. If not, you just never sees the light of day.
That Mullen quote, though, is a perfect example for what is said in the locker room should stay in a locker room. Like why was there ever video out there of Dan Mullen saying that to his team in the locker room?
They should never have seen the light of day. I mean, maybe it's one of those things where they're filming it and they don't know what he's going to say. He doesn't have a script, and they're just like, well, he said it.
But then,
I don't know.
There needs to be, if you have a video team in your locker room, there's got to be a sit down meeting where, hey guys,
we got to
be smart. The post game, talk to his team, guys. I'm so proud of you. I love you so much. Let's break it down. That's what you put out there on video. Anything that is specific or detailed in a locker room has to stay in there. That's one of the few sacred places that we've got to maintain. We've got to have a locker room that's private. Unless you're Wyndham Clark and you destroy one of the lockers at one of the most iconic golf courses in the country, then that picture is going to get out, and I kind of understand that. But.
That's just different.
Man. 601-879-4395, the C-Spire text on. Somebody says, Pete's a player's coach. The kids love him and will always play hard for him. Don't think he's not working on that right now with the Florida game. They will play hard. They will play hard after a win. Plus, Ole Miss has a week off after Florida. I'm sure that will be part of the conversation. Florida cost a playoff berth in 2024. Some of those kids are still on the team. You can use a lot of that to keep them locked in.
I agree, but nothing makes me more nervous than hearing players coach. Is Nick Saban a players coach? Is Kirby Smart a players coach?
Oh, the Georgia players love Kirby Smart.
They love him, but would you describe him as a players coach?
Can we describe Pete Golding as a player's coach yet?
We don't. Yeah, that's a good point. Like we don't. We're just kind of going off of vibes more than anything.
The players
else.
like him.
They like him, but what is he going to be tough on them? We have to wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
So
we have no idea yet.
I don't. Joe Moorhead was a player's coach. Put it that way. I don't like hearing players coach. I don't think Signetti is a player's coach.
See this AI thing someone just sent us on the text line?
Oh, my God. Oh, God. It gets worse every time you look at it.
What did you type in?
Yeah. Don't tell us. No. I don't want to know what the prompt was. I don't want to know. Buddy, if something happens to you and your internet search history ever gets checked, people are going to have questions.
Yeah. Somebody says, I think it would be funny if all the fans turned around and faced the other way when Lane came out onto the field. What do you think about that? The problem is coaches entering the field in pregame warmups is so unceremonious that you can't coordinate something like that.
Yeah. Like you have to have like a movement.
Yeah, it's like...
And there'd be a lot of pre-planning for that one,
And they just they walk, and the stadium's about half full when the coaches
take
the field.
But you don't want that either.
Warm-ups.
You don't want to have they're showing the game on TV and all of a sudden it's quiet.
No.
Nobody wants that. So just boo the man. I'm not saying to be respectful, but I am saying don't shoot him. Just boo the man, all right? That's all you got to do. It's not like we've forgotten how to be college football fans. Like, we're coming up with, we'll do this and that. Just boo the man. His team comes on the field, boo as loud as you can. You want to throw him the bird? I won't say anything. But that's all you got to do. Why are we making a process out of this? Just boo him.
Well, because the people that are making a process of it have heard every day of, the National Guard's got to be there. And then the clickbait crap that you saw with, should the game get moved? That kind of stuff. They're dealing with that. That's where this is coming from.
Stop dealing with it. Just boo him. Just boo the guy. You don't like him, boo him.
Boo. I'm booing you right now. We'll be back.
What do they want? Exciting news.
Brace yourself.
More Sports Talk Mississippi now.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. So glad you guys are with us on this Tuesday. Just a few days away from regional play getting started. 2 sites in Mississippi. That's such a great thing. That's how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to have multiple sites every year hosting regionals in this state. We care too much and invest too much for that to not be the case. Really excited for this weekend and to continue talking about it with you guys. But it's just after 5 o'clock. We have to do this every single day at this time. It's the College Football Fix.
Well, we don't have to do it. We enjoy doing it. It's the College Football Fix. It's driven by your Mississippi Ford dealers. Built Ford Tough. The best-selling truck in America sure is. The Ford F-150. If you are looking for a new truck right now, and hey, it's summertime, you want to get out there on the road, do it behind the wheel of a new Ford F-150. Visit your local Mississippi Ford dealer today. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
So spring meetings are going on. No Pete Golding, no Jeff Lebby yet. Now, I believe every coach is required to speak, but they have not done so yet. Maybe they will tomorrow or later today. They do not publicize the schedule. It just happens. So if anything interesting comes up from either one of them, of course, we will bring it to you. I imagine, just because of sheer circumstance, Pete Golding is going to have more interesting questions asked of him, considering Lane Kiffin keeps talking about Ole Miss and also the Luke Farrelly deal, and there's just a lot more there.
Yeah.
Jeff Lebby is going to be asked a lot about Camario Taylor over the next few months.
Again.
They were talking about playoffs.
Wow.
The athletic directors that responded to an On3 poll, the majority of them want a playoff that is larger than 16. The tides are changing within the league on that. That is quite simply a preservation thing. They want games on their campus in November to matter, and bowl games aren't moving the needle for fans anymore. Oh, got to get the 8th win to go to the bowl game is not getting people to the stadium. That's what that is. It's a money thing. It's not what's best for the sport. Mike Elko was asked about it, the head coach at Texas A&M, and I just love this from him. He was asked, what would he like to see? Quote, what does Mike Elko want? 40. Then I won't get fired. It's okay to make it hard to make the playoff. None of us are answering for the good of the sport. We're answering for the good of ourselves. Thank you, Mike Elko, for being the voice of reason in a room that is completely rudderless right now.
Got to give respect to Mike Elko there. And he's right. Like he brings up the idea of the czar, right? The CEO of college football. And the problem with that, it's one of those things, it's a great idea. It's $1 million idea. How do we make it happen? Like, how do we tell this guy, okay, not only are you the good idea man, but you have the power to implement these ideas? Mm-hmm. That's the problem. Is I can sit up there and be like, it is better for college football if we leave this playoff at 12 for a 5-year period and then reevaluate after. Okay? Are the commissioners required to listen to me? Are the teams required to listen to me? Because if they're not, then we're just whistling Dixie, basically.
And then here's the other thing. Allow me to get on a soapbox. Greg Sankey.
Here we go.
This is from Nicole Auerbach. Greg Sankey told fans that have responded, or Greg Sankey told that fans have responded overwhelmingly negatively to the idea of a 2014 college football playoff. Here's his quote. It's not like it's scientific research. I don't disregard it, but that also shouldn't necessarily be the primary course of information. End quote. So,
only place in the world where you don't have to listen to your customers.
I think what he's trying to say is an informal fan survey should not be what drives decision making. But here is the problem with that in and of itself, though. Are you going to do any sort of quote-unquote scientific method into figuring out what the fans want with this? Have you tried that? Have you inquired? Hey, Keith, Zach, what do your fans want? Hey, Greg Byrne, what do your fans want? Hey, Hunter Yurachek, what do your fans want?
Don't ask him.
But what do your fans want? I implore you, Greg Sankey in particular, but I know people at Ole Miss and Mississippi State and Southern Miss listen to this show. I know you do. I beg you, please, at some point, involve your fans into what your opinion of these things are. Involve them, ask them, poll them, make them part of your stances on this. Because all of you have been right to this point that we can do whatever we want to the sport and the fans are still going to show up and they're still going to watch. We can raise season ticket prices, doesn't matter, they're still showing up. We can charge more for parking, doesn't matter, they're showing up. We can add commercial breaks, doesn't matter, they're still going to watch. To this point, you've been exactly right. That day will come when you're wrong and it will be too late. People are still watching, but you are still directionless. They hate everything that you're doing to the sport that they love. And eventually, one day, they are going to tell you, you know what? I'm out. I'll just go to the Saints game on Sunday instead. Because I at least know what's happening in the NFL. It at least makes sense on paper. Please, at some point, involve your fans in your decision-making. Please. They deserve a seat at the table. They're the ones that built the table. Off my soapbox. Okay, anyway, anything else?
Lane Kiffin is speaking right now.
Oh, so they are getting to every coach today then.
Quote. Two things can be right at the same time. They can both be true. Oh, you know what, Lane? I don't disagree. Somebody say all the time.
So far, so good.
You could have had a wonderful experience. You needed Oxford and Ole Miss more than they needed you. That can be totally true. And then you choose a new challenge.
Okay.
Where was this in December, Lane?
Where was this last week?
Yeah. He just makes it up as he goes. He really does. Sometimes the time is right, just right for a new challenge.
The only reason that's coming out now is because the response to
the other thing,
was overwhelmingly negative to the point where
Lane Kiffin on his trip to Ole Miss this fall. I'm not even there yet. We've got so much work to do before that. I've gone to back to Tennessee before, so I guess we've gotten some practice.
That was 10 years later.
It was. This is not even 10 months.
I'm not even thinking about that while I do 6 different articles talking about that.
He was thinking about it down on the beach, apparently, when somebody brought it up to him down there on that video.
So that is really funny. Don't get me wrong. I laughed till I hurt. Don't bother celebrities in public.
Well, at the same time, though, if you say, hey, will you do a video with me? And the guy says yes, well, it happens, And
it's not like he cussed at him.
Yeah.
Sort of. He said a cuss word, but he didn't like.
But yeah.
As far as interactions go, that is the best, method, I suppose. But anything else popping up that he's.
Nah.
He did say in an interview, not today, but I guess it was yesterday, or that Alabama forced Nick Saban into retirement.
Mm-hmm.
That guy hates bridges, man.
He does. Lane Kiffin on the SEC championship game and Kirby Smart's love for it. How can he say he can say he loves the game, but did he love it when he lost his quarterback in the game?
That's a good point. That's a good point. It's going away. Count your days, guys. The SEC championship is going away. That will not continue much longer.
It feels pretty obvious in that one. So, Kiffin's at the podium. My guess is we'll get a few more quotes out of him. Sam Levitt ran 21 miles per hour. I love the miles per hour thing.
Yeah, that's so relevant.
Who cares?
I'd be willing to bet. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm wrong. Let
him say we're crazy.
There was a long talking to from Greg Sankey before he got in front of the media. And part of that talking to was
like, all right, Lane, we'll get you on the podium right quick. Real quick, though, somebody wanted to speak with you. He's like, can you just go in that room right there? And it's just Sankey sitting at a desk and be like, I swear to God. I swear, Lane, if you can't go up there and act normal for 10 minutes, we're going to have a problem, my friend.
Somebody says, y'all keep saying making the playoffs won't keep a football coach's job if it goes to 24, but doesn't it almost guarantee a basketball coach's if they make a 76-team tournament? Nope.
I wouldn't think so.
Not anymore.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, if you're like a 16-15 team and you're the 74th team in.
And you lose in the first round?
Yeah, I don't know that necessarily that Beard or Jans, after the seasons they just came off of, would be locked in for another one. No.
Mm-mm. It's your college football fix, driven by Ford. Please don't dismiss what your fans think anymore. That was a horrible quote that went around yesterday of, that's not really what we're going to weigh in our decision making. It needs to be. They'll check out eventually.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
From the Venable Glass
or Sports Talk Mississippi. Now.
Welcome back to Sports Talk Mississippi. You look like you've got something.
No. I'm good.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I had somebody reach out there like, I'm nearly ready to choke to death from the Greg Sankey Lane Kiffin encounter. That's exactly how that would go, too. Just be like, go sit in that room for a second. And Sankey just be like, Lane, I can't. I just can't with you anymore. Be like having a discussion with a my 17-year-old daughter, just like, Dad, I can't. I just can't right now. That's what, yeah.
Oh, man. I am very curious to hear, whenever we do get to hear from Pete Golding and Jeff Lebby, though. I mean, this is, we've got all offseason to talk about it, but it's only, 95 days worth. I say only. That will feel long. But man, awesome. these are really interesting football teams. They really are. And I mean, there's a chance that you have some pretty explosive, compelling stars. Maybe guys that aren't quote unquote household names right now. I mean, when you think Ole Miss, you think Chambliss and Lacey, but I mean, by the end of the season, there's a guy on defense in Keaton Thomas that, I mean, might be first-team All-SEC, All-American type guy. And nobody knows who it is because he was buried on bad teams at Baylor. Now, he's super productive, but who watched Baylor football play last year? Nobody. And then for Mississippi State, I mean, the story is the 1-15 in SEC games, but you've got one particular wide receiver, Hadad, that can put up ridiculous numbers that people don't quote-unquote know right now.
Right.
But around the league, you're going to look up and there's a chance this dude has 1,200 receiving yards this year.
Well, I mean, that's a lot, but
there's a chance.
This is, year 3 for Lebby, and each year he's had a 70, well, I guess I shouldn't say a 70-plus catch. Neither Evans nor Thompson had 70-plus catches, but Thompson did lead the league in receiving last year, and Coleman the year before that, it was a 70-plus catch, almost 1,000 yards guy. Anthony Evans coming back, 67 catches I think last year, over 800 yards. He'll be right in the mix to do that kind of stuff again. And then, as I've talked about before with Lebby, I just trust the evaluations at this point. This will be 2 years in a row he's evaluated correctly at that position, and so I'm just going to buy in that Marquise Johnson or Zion Ragens, one of the two of them, will step right in for Brennan Thompson. Evans will be really good. And then we'll see about that other receiver spot. Is that going to be San Francisco McGee? Can he continue? He had a good bowl game. Or is Aiden Williams, this is the last kind of hurrah for Aiden Williams, a guy we've talked about a lot on this show, going back to his time at Ole Miss. Can he finally break through? I don't know if he can or not. So, yeah, but I got total faith in the ability for Mississippi State to be able to have good wide receivers as long as Jeff Lebby is the head coach. Offensive line, that's a story, that's a question and a story and a segment maybe for another day, a much longer one as well.
Yeah, probably. So I am curious to hear what they say. I'm going to predict right now what they're going to say about the playoffs. Both of them are going to have very similar answers. I got a football team to worry about. I can't focus on stuff like that. I'll do whatever they tell me.
Yeah.
You've got all this discourse.
Privately, they're like, hell yeah, get me a 2014 playoff.
I have a feeling that both of them are like, yes, please. Because, they are in preservation mode, and it does enhance access, especially, this is not a shot, it's just reality. The state that Mississippi State football is in at the moment, it does increase the opportunity for them to make the playoff.
Is there a world where Mississippi State is, again, we have to look at things, if we look at things from the macro perspective. State went from 2 wins to 5 last year, and if you watch their games, they had a great number of opportunities to win 6, 7, 8 games last year. So if you go from that perspective and you say, okay, they went from 2 to 5, can they go from 5 to 8? Now, their schedule's incredibly tough. It will be, if they win 8 games, he's done a fantastic job. But if you win 8 games, you're going to be in that discussion. You would be in a 2014 playoff discussion. You're probably ranked. You're probably 20th, 21st, something like that. So, yeah, Lebby should be for that. Again, it goes back to what Elko was talking about, is the coaches are saying, what's good for me? We're not we are very Adam Smithing it on this one. We need to pay more attention to what was the guy's name? Beautiful Mind. What's his name? I can't remember what Russell Crowe's character name was, but he came up with the whole corollary of it's best for you do what's best for you and what's best for the group. That's what Mississippi State, Ole Miss, that's what college football coaches need to be doing right now. Why can I not remember his name? That's going to bother me.
It is going to bother you.
I gotta look that up. What was the guy's name? A Beautiful Mind. John Nash.
I've never seen it.
Oh, come on now. That's one you need to watch.
Never seen it.
That's a good one.
So he says, every time y'all say 2014 playoff, I hear 2014 playoff, like the year 2014 when Ohio State with a third-string quarterback won the national championship.
Could have been.
Cardale,
I didn't come to play school.
I ain't come here to play school, Jones.
That's right.
He was awesome, though. That was
a great run. That was a great, fun run of him winning the Big Ten championship game in dominant fashion, then beating Alabama, who was number 1, and then beating was it Oregon and the Heisman Trophy winner, Marcus Mariota. So. And then never to really be heard of again.
Never to be heard from again.
The last time I remember seeing Cardale Jones, he was the quarterback for is it the DC Defenders? Is that the UFL team?
Do you watch at all the UFL?
So, like, when they first brought it out, I was like, I'll check it out. And it scratches the football itch for you if you really want to watch a game. And then there's enough familiar names that I'm like, oh, okay, I remember him. He played, here, there, or wherever. But, no. I thought, which league was it? It may have been the XFL. I don't remember which one it was. But they were like, they had some, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, they had some local flavor. Like, the Birmingham team had a lot of Mississippi State guys on it.
Yeah.
The Memphis team had the Ole Miss guys on it.
That was the USFL?
Yeah, whichever one it was.
Yeah.
I remember they were the Birmingham Iron.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Was that team. And I was like, man, they had a bunch of former Bulldogs on that team.
They had cool uniforms, too.
Yeah.
They were black and silver.
Yes.
By the way, Cardale Jones last played in 2023 for the Massachusetts Pirates, who moved to Orlando.
What league is that?
The Indoor Football League.
Okay.
They are now the Orlando Pirates.
Good for them.
After he spent
was I
2022.
Right? DC Defenders?
He was on the Defenders in 2020.
Okay. Yeah.
Then he played for the Edmonton Elks and went 6 for 11 in the NFL as a quarterback. Threw 11 passes, completed 6 of them. But no, I've tried the spring football. I've tried. I can't do it.
Well, I think what it is I think I could watch college football year round. I don't know if I could watch the NFL, like a pro football year round. I got to have some sort of break. But
I need a break.
Yeah. I just need to get away. It's one of those things that absence does make the heart grow fonder. When we get to August, I'm chomping at the bit for football.
And you can't spend every Saturday for 52 Saturdays just as a human being with a family and stuff watching a football game. Yeah. Blocking off 4 hours every single Saturday is not feasible.
4?
Well, just for one game.
I'm about to say, it's like 12.
But I mean, like, the atmospheres aren't there. Nobody goes to the games. That makes it harder. The quality of play is not as good. There are a bunch of guys that couldn't make it in the NFL, and it's April. It's just I've tried, and I know like they provide a good service. Like those guys get a lot of them. Get opportunities, and
they're making salary playing football. So be it. That's great for them, but it's just not for me. Like I just cannot. And I think part of that is I'm just conditioned that in February I'm supposed to be watching basketball. And in March and April I'm watching the end of college basketball, and that's when college baseball is good. My sports calendar through 40-plus years of my life has just been ingrained into me. You can't just throw something new in there and expect me to immediately go, oh, yeah, I'm watching this. That being said, if you gave me tickets to a game, and, let's say you and I were in Birmingham for some reason, and they were like, hey, we got tickets to the Stallions game. Do you want to go? Yes, I'll go. I'll go watch a live football game.
For sure.
But watch it on TV? Probably not.
Yeah, I'm with you. Sports Talk Mississippi. We'll be back from the Pearl River Resort Studio in just a little bit. Stick with us. Let's get back to baseball. How about we do that when we come back? Regional play upcoming this weekend, and we'll do that on the other side.
From the Seabrook.
It's time to get real.
Real sports talk for Mississippi.
It's time for you to get real with it.
Sports Talk Mississippi continues on Super Talk Mississippi.
A little breaking news that you're going to love from David Ubben of The Athletic. SoCon Saturday in the SEC is dead. The league's teams will all play a conference game on the penultimate weekend of the regular season, Commissioner Greg Sankey says. No more Alabama, Chattanooga. No more South Carolina, Furman. No more Mississippi State, East Tennessee State. You're going to play a conference game the week before the end of the regular season.
So now, just 2 weeks before the end of the regular season is when you're going to get SoCon Saturday.
What kind of sucks for State and Ole Miss, and the other teams that play on Friday, is that they wanted to do that so that you could set it up to maybe get your starters off the field and get a little extra rest because you got the short week, but it won't be the case. So I guess that'll start in 2027.
There's a push, remember, for the 2 bye weeks. If you're Ole Miss and State,
that's the case, you got to schedule it late. Yeah.
Yes, without a doubt. You know what, Sankey? Hey, we won one.
We got a win there.
We got one, and you got to celebrate the little victories, right? I mean, that's. Yeah. Oh wait, hold on, it's not Sankey. It's the ADs that did it.
Yeah. So,
but hey,
as we mentioned with Ole Miss, they don't have. In 2027, they only have 2 non-conference games scheduled, and they got to find one more. And I think they're going to have to find a Power 4 game because they have Oregon State.
Yeah, that's not going to count anymore.
I don't think they're going to count that. For State, 2027, State has so they may have to move some things around because State has got 3 games scheduled, and on November 20th they're scheduled to play Chattanooga at Davis Wade Stadium. So I'll be interested to see if that does indeed hold up.
Or just gets moved, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they keep the game, but you move it to week 3 or week 4 or something like that. State is playing Missouri State, Minnesota, and Chattanooga all at home in 2027.
Missouri State, by the way, if you're like, wait, what a minute, isn't that 2 FCS teams? Nope.
No, that's Conference USA.
That is a Conference USA team now.
We know that because we talked about them in baseball all year because we talked about them a million times on how they were helping Ole Miss's resume.
The last few weeks of the season should feature the games with the most to lose. Basically, is how you want to put that.
I want to check State's website on that because I'm looking at fbschedules.com, and they are sometimes in and out on that kind of stuff. So let me see if I can find.
While you're doing that, here is the weekend that the SEC ADs have officially ended. Now, again, they're probably just going to move it up 1 week, but this is the second to last week of the regular season in the SEC. These are the opponents. The opponents on the schedule: Chattanooga, Samford, Wofford, Tennessee Tech, and Arkansas. All on the schedule in the SEC in the second to last week of the season. You can't have that anymore. I'm glad they're ending that.
Yeah, State doesn't have the correct. I don't know what's going on. State still has the Troy game, which I know they canceled in 2027 at Troy, so that they're not up to date either. So we'll figure it out as we go.
Tennessee
got plenty of time.
Yeah, Tennessee Tech, by the way, in Starkville, and Wofford in Oxford.
The Terriers.
If it were Tennessee Tech in Oxford, I'd say look out, but that's scars from a different sport.
Oh, okay. I've forgotten about that. Yes, that's a different sport. Yes.
How excited are you? Not. So it's different when you're from a media perspective than a fan perspective. But how excited are you to watch this regional in Starkville this weekend? Like, gauge your excitement level.
Very excited, just because it's been so long. I mean, it's been 5 years since postseason baseball was played at Duty Noble Field. I think even with a 1 o'clock first pitch, you'll have a big crowd on Friday. And then, do you know the time? Do you know first pitch time for Saturday if State wins? Do you know it? I do know it. Do you know it? Don't look. Don't look.
I have no idea.
It's 8 o'clock.
Ooh.
8 o'clock first pitch on Saturday for the winners bracket game. If Mississippi State's in that, I mean, what is that stadium going to be like in that situation? I mean, I'm very excited to see postseason baseball back. It's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, real quick, just to let you guys know. That's a good. I didn't think about that, but I'll make it work. Don't worry. Thunder and Lightning postgame will be happening on YouTube Live after these games. Now, Friday, 1 o'clock first pitch. We have this show. I will go live on YouTube from the studio here right after this show ends on Friday. But on Saturday, live. Gosh, it'll be like the Arizona State game. We will be live.
You're going live on YouTube after the show ends or after the game ends? Because if the game's at 1...
I can't go after the game ends because we'll be on the air. But I will go live immediately following the show.
Oh, here's an idea. You go live on YouTube, pipe my sound in, and just wait.
How do we do that? I don't think we can do that. I don't know that we can do that.
Plug in the audio from your mixer into your computer and bang.
You want to see something real quick? Oh, hold on.
Okay.
You really want to do that?
Yeah. There's a way to do that.
I don't think that there is.
I did think that was a cool effect, though.
Yeah, we had a good echo there, but that's my point. Like when you turn on that to work now, post game live YouTube after the show on Friday, but then Saturday night, gosh. Saturday night, living after midnight.
Man.
Should be a lot of fun.
I mean, Ole Miss's first pitch on Friday is 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I will make it up to the end of that one. I will not fall asleep on the couch like I have trying to finish the new Jack Ryan movie. I have tried for 5 nights in a row, and I have not finished it yet. It's an hour and 45-minute movie. I haven't finished it because I keep falling asleep. That will not happen to me Friday. That is my promise to you. It won't happen.
All right. Well, one way or the other, post game live will be a thing this coming week. I'm going to do that all the way through. So until State gets eliminated, you will have YouTube. I won't be traveling, obviously, but we will have YouTube post game shows all throughout the postseason.
You won't be traveling because Georgia's going to get upset.
Hey-o. I mean, I love the enthusiasm, Michael Borkey. So a lot of fun.
Yeah. The Lincoln Regional, I don't know if excitement's the right word, but intrigue through the roof. For a lot of different reasons. One, just because it's postseason baseball, and postseason baseball is fun. Ole Miss has a pitching staff that can really get through this regional. What happened?
SEC's Greg Sankey asked about potential fines for Lane Kiffin's comments regarding Ole Miss. You'll find out when everyone else finds out. I don't make those announcements at podiums.
So then a fine's coming.
Oh, could be.
Because if the answer was no, you don't announce.
Oh, hold on. I got more from you from Sankey. Those people in leadership positions need to function like leaders in their conduct and commentary. Oh.
What people? What is he talking about?
I think he's talking about Lane Kiffin.
Oh. I thought that was like a shot at Congress or something. It's like
no. It's specifically asked about. Greg Sankey said he had conversations with coaches about, quote, expectations and care from people in leadership positions.
You know how miserable he is when he wakes up every day and a new article drops. He hates this.
He wakes up and he grabs his phone and it's like got a bunch of notifications and it's all like WTF and question marks and Lane, and he's like, oh God. Oh, and he just gets the phone and he goes to the Twitter app. Lane Kiffin says, Ole Miss still holding on to racist past.
Yeah.
And he just like, before my coffee? Oh, come on. He just texts Virgil.
Why would Sankey not be excited that Lane Kiffin is a civil rights advocate? I don't understand.
You're going to make me make the joke. You really got to stop. Yeah, he just texts Virgil Osbury. He's like, come on, man. Come on. And Virgil's just like, what do you want me to do? I don't have any control over this guy.
Get control.
Like, he's my boss. Just text Keith Carter like, you really couldn't have let him coach the playoff. This could have all been avoided.
No, that's the thing. Because they would have lost to Georgia, and then it would be because I can't get it done there.
Right. I'm just saying.
Ole Miss beating Georgia in the Sugar Bowl destroyed ego, is what it did.
Yeah.
Now, of course, it gets built back up in different ways, but
right.
That would have been a very easy.
See, I disagree though. But I don't think you can destroy Lane Kiffin's ego.
It damaged it temporarily.
Narcissists don't have their egos damaged.
But like Wolverine, it just like regenerates.
You will never in your life hear a comparison between Wolverine and Lane Kiffin ever again. You are the first of your generation to hear that. If you listen to that on the radio, you can tell your ancestors. You were there the day Michael Borkey compared Lane Kiffin to Wolverine.
Lane Kiffin's ego
to
Wolverine.
It's got the regeneration is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that his ego is encased in adamantium. It's indestructible. I'll buy into that. Sure.
Somebody says Jack Ryan Ghost War is really good. It's good I'm not falling asleep because it's boring. Trust me, I like it. I like the series. I think
you're just an old man at this point.
I'm just falling asleep on the couch trying to watch a movie, man. I don't know what happened to me, but
ooh. I was looking at this Josh Jacobs thing.
Yeah, tough scene.
Not good.
Sports Talk Mississippi will wrap the show up with you next.
Your number one for Sports Talk.
Anyone? Come on, don't be shy.
Sports Talk Mississippi.
Bingo, man, bingo.
Super Talk Mississippi.
One more time with you, Sports Talk Mississippi. So this regional in Lincoln, it, like I was saying before, it's interesting because it's postseason baseball, and that's interesting, right? Ole Miss can pitch it really well. They have the opportunity to make a run. They can because of how they pitch it, and at times offensively they can be dangerous, and that's all very fascinating. Unfortunately, what's more interesting is what happens if they don't do that. If they come home with a couple of losses and don't get out of a regional, the noise, if you want to call it that, is going to be deafening loud. People are going to call for a change. A lot of people. And I don't just mean fans on message boards and Twitter. I mean, I think that a lot of folks will use that as the, look, 26 years is a long freaking time. And 4 years after winning the national championship, you have not made it to a super regional. You've only hosted once, and you got beat by Murray State. And the 2 other years, you had the worst record in the SEC combined in those 2 years. Yes, worse than Missouri. It's time. That will be the discussion if they do not come out of this regional victorious this weekend. It will be impossible to ignore. In years past, Hadad, even before you got on the show, I mean, almost every year, fire Bianco, it would always come up. And it's not a serious conversation. This year, it will be one.
Yeah. It would have been one last year if they hadn't turned it around and hosted. And if they had had a third straight poor season. But again, if you're following the model, Mississippi State wins the national title, back-to-back terrible years. They kind of bounced back year 3 after the national title. Year 4, Lemonis was gone. Here we are again with Ole Miss. Win a national title. Next 2 seasons are terrible. Bounce back year 4 or year 3. Year 4, we'll see where you are. Now, that being said, when State made the move on Lemonis, they were towards the bottom of the SEC. And then, Parker comes in and he righted the ship and got them into postseason play at least. This is a little different situation. That Ole Miss was in the hosting discussion up until the final, weekend of the season. But and it's kind of funny, right? We're talking about an Ole Miss team that was not ranked in the preseason.
They were not.
They were not, considered to be a threat to anyone. You can make a strong argument that Bianco's done a good job this year because, this team didn't have very high expectations, and they were in the hosting discussion. They've been ranked most of the year. The other side of that coin, though, is it's about the program as a totality, and they're not reaching the highs that they were reaching the first half of his tenure at Ole Miss. Now, part of that I think, is that State has gotten better. You think
and
about
got swept by them again this year.
Well, no, what I was going to say is you think about Bianco when he came in till about 2012. Ole Miss was by far the dominant program in this state. Year in, year out. Mm-hmm. The end of Ron Polk, the first few years of John Cohen. But since that time, State's been able to get back on equal footing and then become, I think you can say at this point, after 10 years of winning the series basically every year, the better program again. So that plays a role in it. But I get what y'all are saying.
Yeah, I mean it'll be a real thing. And Ole Miss is not top 5 in NIL, but they're top 5 in spending.
Mm-hmm.
You don't build that stadium to sit empty in late May, and that's what it's going to do again. Those kind of things.
And then, looking ahead to next year with Ole Miss, Udemark gone, Becerra gone, Decker gone, Elliott gone. Taylor Rabe will be gone, right?
I think Rabe will be gone, yes.
Townsend? He's just a freshman, isn't he?
He's not a freshman, but I'll have to check his eligibility.
But you're going to lose a lot.
They're losing a ton.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I'm not saying this will happen, but guys do leave as well as come in, so you never know.
Yeah.
Townsend's a sophomore.
That's a lot. I mean, when you think about State, right, and McPherson and Valinkas and Bauer and Duke Stone and Maddox Miller and all those great arms the State is going to have next year, they're all back for Mississippi State. Jacob Parker will be back for Mississippi State. Now, they got to rebuild the lineup a little bit, but after what we saw this year with the transfer portal, do we have any doubt that Mississippi State's going to rebuild the lineup? No.
Townsend's draft eligible, by the way.
Oh, then probably going to – I mean, he's too good a prospect. He'll probably go.
I guess you got to wait for the draft, and I mean because NIL can outspend a draft position to a point, right? To a certain point.
To a certain point.
So a lot on the line. Again, this is a team that can win this regional, though. I am not counting them out.
No, you shouldn't. We could very well be talking about 3 super regional teams.
Absolutely,
next Monday for sure.
But that is on the line this weekend, though. Lot of pressure on Mike Bianco this weekend. So, we'll keep talking about it this week for sure. SEC spring meetings going on. Still no Lebby or Golding, so hopefully we'll get some quotes out of them as the week goes on because I'm looking forward to hearing from them. We don't hear from them all that much this time of year, so this will be nice.
Again.
Right? And we'll see you guys tomorrow at 3. Have a good night.
You're listening to a SuperTalk Mississippi media production.